Time had passed since Sarah defeated Mirak on the slopes of Apocrypha. Time back on Solstheim had been quick. She had realized one thing. Things had changed in Solstheim. It was obvious, something she had expected. Mirak's power had been broken, the stones freed, and the island had returned to its normal operation. But that wasn't what she expected. There was something she hadn't expected. She had changed. Wasn't sure if it was Apocrypha, Mirak, Hermeasmora, or something farther. She felt different. Her will had been capped, her power suppressed. Now it had been broken free. She wondered if it was the Ben Will shout. Had the shout unlocked something deeper within her? Had there been something that had been sealed away, and now she was allowed to touch it, allowed to use it? But she could tell something important about it. It was still suppressed. She could feel it inside of her. She had sat at her desk studying. She had spent time at Clockwork Castle since being in Apocrypha. She had spent time trying to understand what had happened. Utilization of both of her books. Utilization of not only the Ogma Infinium, a book directly connected to Hermea's Mora, but also the Aetherius magic, the power of Magnus. The two gods she worshipped, the two gods she bowed to. There were other things that she had. She had gotten used to that over time. Things that she would have in her possession. And it wasn't just those items. Many things had fallen into her that were into her possession that was useful. From a cube to weapons to jewelry to armor to the disembodied body parts. Many a thing was now hers. But this was the first time she had felt different. This was the first time something had changed how she felt about the situation. Umbra, Sword of Souls, was the last thing that had done this to her. And now she was desperate to understand. Was what she felt her? Or was it something else entirely? What could it be? What could have caused this? Was it the shout alone? Or was there something deeper than that? We'd have to find out. She had tarried too long in her sanctum. She had swallowed in her knowledge for far too long. It was time to return. It was time to return to the graces of Magnus, and then to Solstheim. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's been a couple of days. It'll be a couple of days after my last upload that you'll see this. That was a couple of days ago, and it's been a very long time since I recorded. Surprisingly, that was almost perfect. Me defeating Mirak and finishing that portion of the story was almost ironically good for my life. Because I have just gotten out of the hospital. Not me personally, I was not personally in the hospital. My wife was in the hospital. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. She is fine. There was some points of scare for a little bit, but we eventually did get back to. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I'm trying to get. I was trying to get Relentless Storm so it would make me walk on water. Um, she's all right. She's recovered now and she's back home. Um, but obviously, while I was in the hospital with her, keeping her company and holding her hand through it, I was obviously not able to record. So I'm not going to. I might have said I'm sorry. I'm not really that sorry about not recording. Obviously, if one of my loved ones is in trouble, I'm going to be more important. That's going to be more important to me than recording. But I am happy to come back, and I do enjoy the fact that it was at a point where it would make sense for there to be a small break in the recording. I might let it sit for a couple of days. I'm currently recording this on October 6th for reference, since I don't know when I will put this up, because I might keep um, from recording for, I might keep from uploading episodes for a little bit so I can build up a bit of a backlog before I start, because it does kind of feel natural that we defeated Mirak and Sarah would have taken some time. Now, in truth, she hasn't taken any time. The time in game is exactly the same. It's exactly the same from when I closed out. The only difference is I went and did some inventory management. I don't really remember at this point because it's been too long, but I know I was at Clockwork Castle, which means I was doing some inventory management at one point. Um, but I am now able to get back into recording and looking forward to it. Um, much as my little intro there, I don't normally do those because I stumble over my words and don't feel like I do them a great justice. But I do feel like that was something that I could get off of Sarah's mind and into the world. That she does feel like something has happened. She's poured over her knowledge, she's poured over what she has, and she's realized something inside of her changed after defeating Mirak. And she's not sure if it's Hamea's Mora, she's not sure if it's the shout, she's not sure if it has to do with her um, abilities as Dragonborn, or maybe she absorbed a specific soul from Mirak. We did get a lot of souls from Mirak when we defeated Mirak, so it's always possible that something that we got from Mirak changed us. But she is definitely going to be looking into that. But she is going to be heading back to Solstheim. We have a few more things on Solstheim that I want to do. We probably won't finish Solstheim because I'm not going to 100% this, and I'm not going to stay there for longer than I feel is necessary. I also want to get back here so we can get back to work on some of the other things that Sarah was working on, mostly the Dark Brotherhood quest line. I still want to do the Thieves Guild eventually. I plan on doing the Thieves Guild build. And I also want to get back to, obviously, working with Harkon and finding his, and helping him out. We actually might go get the Bloodstone. We might actually take the Bloodstone Chalice, since where we are going is near there. And some may ask, where are we going? Well, the answer is actually, we're going over to the Temple of the Ancestors. I am going to go back to trying to decrease the amount of fast travel I'm doing. I'm not going to just pop around, because I do feel like that does break the pacing a little bit. Sarah will travel to major locations. I'm going to leave fast travel on, and she is going to travel to major locations, places I feel like she would have set up to be able to travel to. But I am going to try to do less just straight up fast traveling. I'm going to try and do a lot more walking, especially since that's how we're going to find more of these shrines to the gods. And I do plan on looking for more, but right now our main goal is to get back into Magnus's good graces so we can go back to praying to Magnus, have his boons and his focuses. I did take Hamea's Mora temporarily just to see what would happen, but I don't feel like Sarah actually wants to serve Hamea's Mora. I feel like she wants to serve Magnus. So, we are back at the Temple of the Ancestors. I always like this temple. I think it's a really nice design. We have Joffrey, we have Pinestar, and we have Magnus. We return to Magnus's good graces. I don't feel like Magnus would be upset with her for doing this. I do feel like there's probably a certain thought process of Pride of Hirstag. What is the Pride of Hirstag? It's obviously a spell. 1 second, I have to figure this out. Elemental Blast, Pride of Hirstag. Summons a bear for 70 seconds whenever the caster is pointing. Resistance 50% frost damage for 60 seconds. Health regenerates 50% faster for. That's pretty cool. I think that's I think that's one of the. I think that's one of the stones of the island that she's benefiting from right now. I think. Um, but yes, obviously Sarah's felt the difference in Solstheim because of the change in her defeating um, Mirak and sealing him away again. Where was? Isn't it over here somewhere? I feel like it's in this area. There it is. We're gonna head up to Redwater Den. Um, the reason we're going there is because of. Let's see, where is it? We have the Bloodstone Chalice, which we got a long while ago. So we're going to be heading to the Bloodstone Chalice to take care of it, and we're going to be heading to we're going to be heading to Redwater Den to fill the Bloodstone Chalice, and then head back to see Harkon about that. We might not head to Harkon yet. We may just go fill the Bloodstone Chalice and then go back to Solstheim. I don't know if we're gonna. We might not go back to Solstheim. I might leave the rest of Solstheim for a little bit. Returning to Solstheim may be maybe a future endeavor. I hear a dragon, and if I hear a dragon, I have a plan. Yeah, let's catch a ride. This is one of the more useful things of this. That is the one time I will use fast travel, is if I have, if I use bend will on a dragon. Did it work?
I am at your command.
Good job. Now, I don't know if I can actually control the dragon. I don't think I can. I don't feel like I can. Oh, did it kill it? Yeah, I killed it. I killed it. That's fine. Killed my taxi. One negative of dragon. It's interesting, though, that to think that she has the Ben Will shot, that she could just fly a dragon into a city and utilize it. At first I thought that was a horse. Now, as far as what she will be doing with the Bendwell shout, she's still trying to get used to it. Obviously, Sarah hasn't had it for very long, and she only used it she's only used it, well, now twice. As far as to control a dragon, I believe that was also partially she wanted to test it. There are a few dragons in the game that I'm wondering if it would work on, because obviously I don't know if it would work on, I don't know if it would work on, I'm trying to remember the name. Not Skull Dolphin. It's the dragon that you ride to Skull Dolphin. Before they added the Benwell shout in. I'm wondering if you can use that it on him and skip the whole capturing him scene. Since if you use it on him, it should mean that you just instantly bind him to your will. She's also not going to use it on people yet. She doesn't know how well it'll work on a person. She might try a bandit or something. I actually don't know what'll happen if I use it on a, I actually am not entirely sure what would happen if I used it on a character. Well, that's useful. Oh, still attacking. I feel as though it would take over him. Maybe it does, and maybe there's a trick to it. I don't know. We'll find out later. But yes, I feel as though Sarah has made her decision as far as who she's going to follow. I see her following where's Ryza? There's Ryza Magica. Now where is Iron Flesh? Praying real quick and buff ourselves. Oh, I'm down below 100. Oh, that's annoying. That's okay. Most likely it's a situation of it's Magnus kind of showing his displeasure of her choosing to side with Hamea's Mora temporarily. But it's alright. Magnus we will be pulled back into Magnus's good graces in time. I do believe it's one of those situations of Magnus is not mad at her. It's more of a fact that it's just one of those things of like she's lost the connection. It's not a favor issue. It's a connection issue, and she needs to rechannel that connection with him. Because like I've said before, I don't believe any of the gods or goddesses can truly hate Sarah. I believe it's a situation that they all have a certain infatuation with the hero of the tale, the Dragonborn, the hero of Kavach, the Neverine, and whoever the ones were for the original Elder Scrolls. I believe that they're all kind of interested in keeping the hero in their good graces for one reason or another. Whether or not it is the fact that the hero represents the living will of Lorkhan, or the next big change in society. Not to mention she still has Aetherius magic, which kind of puts me in the thought process of Magnus can't have abandoned her, because she would have lost Aetherius magic. I would be under the impression of, if he had truly given up on her. I believe that this isn't a situation of he has left her graces. It's more of she left his for so long, she now needs to reattune to it. And that's the praying every day, and the providing him with completions of tasks. Which, as far as I'm aware, we could always check, but I think all of Magnus's good grace, all of the things that Magnus wants us to do, have been completed. Because I think the only thing he really wanted us to do was complete the Mages Guild, which we completed prior to having this mod installed. So sadly, we didn't get the favor for it, and I am having one heck of a time getting up here. Let's get Zurin's blink out and do some stepping. I am trying to go as the crow flies to this, but it obviously is being a pain. I was talking to one of my friends about this because I thought it was interesting that like Magnus's negative is the fact that my Magicka does not regen, but like my magic also does not fall because I have such good magicka. And he says that it's one of those things of like it's that he says that it happens a lot with him in Skyrim as well, where like the negatives don't seem to appear because they've just gotten so powerful beyond that. Which I do think that's part of the situation. She's more powerful than most, and so what would normally be a negative for her is an inconsequential to her power. I'm using a lot of words today that I'm not entirely sure if I'm using them properly or if I'm not, or if I'm saying them properly. I've learned recently, there was a lot of words I've learned recently that I don't speak properly. And I use the wrong terminology for them a lot. And it's not because of the fact that I'm using the wrong terminology for them, it's that the way I think they're pronounced is a different word entirely. Alright. Here we are at the Redwater Den. We've been here before, at least on the outside.
If you're buying, go on in. Otherwise, shove off.
Which they mentioned the fact that a bunch of drug dealers had taken residence in the Redwater Den.
Hold it. If you're going downstairs, you keep your weapons to yourself, or we'll be getting better acquainted. Head on in, and behave yourself. Fancy robes. You a wizard or something?
The Sarah's probably going to be here for a little bit because she's more of she now has her curiosity's been piqued at exactly what's going on here. We have a few options though. We could drink the blood. We could actually drink one of these skooma and get taken as prisoner, but I don't know if they're going to react differently because I'm actually a vampire.
You seem tense. Join a booth and relax a bit. Or did you need another fix?
What's so special about your fixings?
The secret is our mystic Redwater Spring. The magic in the waters opens the mind to experience skooma in a way like never before.
How about a sample?
Since it's your first time, sure. Find a booth and enjoy. Don't like those eyes you got. There's a bad hunger to them.
I like how she says that because I'm pretty sure she's a vampire.
Take a look.
If not, she's a thrall. The place has been taken over by basic vampires. So we have Redwater Skooma, which is 40%, which gives us 40 stamina. You will notice it's a bit higher than the normal stamina, but this stuff is also a lot more. This stuff's a lot worse for you. I'll go ahead and buy the lot. Sarah has an interest in this.
Fine. Suit yourself.
Quite a few people in here. And a thug who's busy. There's a guy in here to talk to.
You there! Bring me another bottle of skooma. Wait, who are you? You look like fun. Pull up a seat, friend. I once paid 3,000 gold for this fungus that grows in giants' armpits. I couldn't stand up for days. Nowhere as good as this stuff.
I can't. This guy's kind of interesting.
I once paid 3,000 gold for this fungus that grows in giants' armpits. I couldn't stand up for days. Nowhere as good as this stuff.
This doesn't look good. Yeah. One that took it a little too far. Some empty skooma bottles.
Hmm? What? Who? You're that one from Helgen. Barely made it out of there myself. I hurt my back and I just need something for the pain.
Need something?
That's everybody. Sarah's probably got an idea of what's going on here. Well, it's not like they're hiding it. This is a pretty obvious situation. That one's the only one that's like alive but unable to converse with us. Going to make sure there's nothing else to look at. Good enough. Let's go take a peek inside. There we go. We are going to try and be a little bit sneaky about this. Lockpick, some gold, and some stamina. About the bow of shadows. I want soul stealer arrows though. That's the last thing I want to use in here. Let's go with some ebony arrows.
There's something out there.
Gonna go ahead and feed to get our stamina back, to get our blood back up. Grab the key to make this easier. Much like I said, vampires. We already knew that from Harkon's group informing us that the place had been taken over by a group of vampires who are trying to use the red water, the stuff we're here for. I feel like Sarah probably at this point would have probably walked in and informed them that she was here for the red water and she wasn't interested in fighting them, and that if they let her use the red water, she basically let them continue. Heck, she might have even considered investing and maybe even trying to take this place over. It's definitely an interesting experiment to be done. So she definitely would have curiosity of what this is doing to people. I kind of find it surprising that the bow isn't turning us invisible. I thought the reason it didn't originally was because like our cooldown was affecting it, but it doesn't seem like it. Could just tear through this place using magicka, but it's just she's practicing in areas that she's trying to keep this as a low profile. thanks to me being stealthy, I'm being far less chatty than I normally am.
What was that?
We'll extract some blood. I don't know how much we have on us, and I'd rather have more than enough than skip over some blood. We're also going to go through and try and extract some of these arrows. I need to increase my archery. I need to put some more skill points into my archery. So I know that I have an increased chance of recovering these arrows. Ebony's arrows cannot be cheap. I already checked him. The arrow must have broke. That's what I always imagine if it's a situation where you can't get the arrow back. I didn't mean to come in here, but let's check. Okay, we're at 82 arrows. That's not bad. And we do not have any skill points. I like how there's a trap in that room, but it's like, it's in a spot that, like, unless you walk into the room to, like, get a good look around, you'll never actually, like, trigger that trap. Anything in the satchel? I thought there was a book in this place that was more information on the red water. It was like what they had researched about it. I can't remember. There's some stuff I can't remember about it that I want to remember, and that's one reason why I'm kind of like looking into it. Ish. Annoying death hound. Its sense of smell was keener than the rest, and which is why it found me so easily. I'm guessing that its spot's probably higher than the rest of them. Look at that pretty face. Well, as pretty as a vampire can get, I guess. Hello, dog. Gotcha. An advantage to arrows, distance. Disadvantage to arrows, ammo. Red water spring. Oh, here we go. I found an interesting book of sorts or stories at a pawn shop shelves today. I didn't think the owner will mind if I take it. I really should spend more time on the docks. These Ulmer are too thin-blooded for my taste. Anyway, one of the tales in the book is an account of Blood Spring of Leon and a Feast, a fabled source of power for vampires. Yep. So yeah, they're getting people drunk on this stuff because the spring doesn't actually like restore blood. It doesn't feed a vampire's need. So they needed to find a food source, and this was probably.
So why don't you just drink the blood from the spring? I mean, That seems easier than running a skooma den.
The boss said it's some sort of profaned spring. It looks like blood, but it's not the real thing. Drinking it gives you strength, but it also gets you pretty messed up. That's why we thought of putting it in the skooma.
Is someone there?
Really? It's annoying.
Hello, who's there?
I wonder. I think I put that one through his eye. Something in here still wants me dead. Oh, they have bloodhounds caged in the cage, and they can tell I'm here, but they can't find me. Oh, that's annoying. And that's worse. I want to deal with the trap. Definitely not worth the struggle for the paltry amount of gold it would have gotten me. Alright, where's that other dog? There it is. One reason why a stealth archer in this game is so powerful. Get a good, decent amount of arrows on you, raise that archery skill up enough to get the ability to not break your arrows as often. You'd end up walking away with a lot of kills without being noticed. As of so far, while they've noticed me, they've not actually while they've detected me, they've actually not seen me. There we are. I had a feeling it would lead that way. As we've learned, it looks like blood, but it doesn't actually satiate the hunger. It would be kind of useful if they had found a spring that basically gives you the blood you need. Or would have absolutely loved that. Made life a lot easier. We're noticing this is like blood water. Because this is actually water from the spring itself. The spring is like overflowing through the place. Nice touch. As long as you get the vampires, the dogs aren't that bad of a problem. I'd much rather deal with the dogs than deal with the vampires. I thought there was a spell you gained in this where I could kill, where if I shot a vampire with it, I could gain like a portion of their power, and it like increased my power level. I guess not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, or maybe it was a different mod. Good night. Human heart, human flesh, cross salts. I always feel like they're doing something, and I kind of like. I know I know I'm curious, but I think also Sarah would be curious at what exactly they're planning. The skeleton. There's a skeleton in their closet. Ow. What did I step on? Was it this? Alright, let's see if we can do it this way. We are getting close to the end of this episode, but I'm kind of hoping to get to the end of the spring before this. I think we're getting close to the end. Yep.
Huh?
What was that?
If I thought it would work, I probably would have tried to use the Ben Will shout on him. Probably exactly what Sarah probably would have done about this place. Ooh, that's nice. Lumberjack. Okay, wait a minute, here we go. Thanks to the more sordid past of some of my underlings, we found a way to add waters of the Bloodstone Spring into the process of for turning moon sugar to skooma. It is far more potent and highly addictive. We've turned the basement into a den and sent out some to the locals with samples to lure people back, turning the disappointment of the spring into a ready supply of blood. We call it red water skooma in case any of the patrons happen to notice water in any of the corners. I found many ruined books in the chambers connected to the spring and will continue to study them for a way to drink the waters without the side effects. Mortals appear to become infected with all manner of diseases, while vampires gain power, but only for a short while. Many of the books I found are but tattered shreds, ruined by ages and moisture. But I've pieced together the origins of the spring, if little else. It used to be a spring sacred to Archay in the First Era, headed by the priest Lingra. I'm glassing over much that isn't of interest in my search, but it would seem that the woman he was in love with was bitten and turned into a vampire, and subsequently turned him as well. They went on a rampage to the spring and killed the other priest as they cowered in the pool, praying for Archay's protection. And as we tore the spine, last priest took the Viciousa into the bloodstone chalice. Water ran red forevermore. Perhaps the bloodstone chalice is the answer. Weeks of research, still nothing to show for it. It seems that the bloodstone chalice is most likely the key to harnessing the power of the spring, but it's also clear that at some point it was removed from the ruins. I found an illustration of it which I have endeavored to sketch here, but nothing else regarding where it may have ended up. Well, we know where it is. It's currently in our inventory. It's been weighing it out in our inventory for the past few weeks. Oh, well, well. Bloodstone chalice. Now the blood spring. There we go. What?
It's really too bad, you know. The little accident you had here. Completely unexpected.
Yeah, too bad. Lord Harkin's new favorite. Dead so soon after joining the family.
We're just lucky I was here to return the chalice to Vingalmo so he could make sure Harkon gets it back.
Wait, what? That's not what we agreed. We take it back together.
Idiot. You didn't really think I'd let you walk out of here either, did you? Vingalmo wants you both dead.
Well, that's just fine. Orthion told me to finish off anyone who got in the way.
Well.
Another maggot squashed beneath your feet.
Are you done?
Damn you.
Still not working. Very well. Pathetic fools. Where did she? There you are. This is who they send after me? Pathetic. Now back to Harkon.